Guitars with Mal. I am Mal. It's been quite a while. There's been many a gig and many a sickness in between gigs. I haven't gotten a lot done on the channel front lately, but I'm trying to make amends. As you can tell, still not quite in the clear, but working on it. So today, what I'm bringing you is what I said I would. This bad Mammals Jamals right here. Look at that. Look at that head stack. It's pretty. It's pretty. This is the PRS SE A10E Angelus. Very similar in body style. I'd say almost exact to the Alex Lifeson Angelus. And let me tell you, this is the first one in the line that's all mahogany. So, mahogany back, mahogany sides, mahogany neck, mahogany top. Got a rosewood fingerboard, okay, and bone nut, bone saddle, rosewood bridge as well. And it has the same electronics as the full PRS acoustics. So I mean, you're not really. Dude, I can't even. This is a great guitar. And this bad Mammals Jamals right here is the case that it comes with. And let me tell you, man, I'm stoked. It's a beautiful freaking case. Look at that. Nice black on black, smooth, nice, you know, compartment like you're always gonna have. But it's cool. The Tolex, it's lightweight, but it's sturdy. The Tolex is really thick, really nice, smells like a new car. You know, it's got the 3 locks in the front and the 1 in the back. And I don't know if you can catch this on the camera, but it's got this nice little SE logo there. Yeah, man, look how thick this thing is. It's like so much protection. Look how wide it is at the top. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But I can't be more stoked. I mean, it's awesome. I've already gigged with it, so let me tell you, this thing loves a mix. Really good punchy mid-range. I think I might be quoting actually, but it's true. It's real pronounced, you know. It's really warm, you know, and that's to be expected, being a whole heck of a lot of mahogany. I've actually played only a few PRS acoustics, and they were all tip-top. They were great guitars. And I was curious about this. You know, it's made in Korea. You know, it's an SE, but I tell you, the new stand that they're putting on the SEs are crazy, man. Like the new electric SEs, the CST, I mean the CT24s and all that stuff, they're custom 24. I'm getting a mix up. And the 22s and the 245s, those things are incredible. Like, you know, and they even went so far as to change the headstock, and they got Paul's signature on them and stuff. This one just says SE Angelus, and that's freaking good enough for me. Look at that top. Oh, that is just a whole heck of a lot of pretty. So what you got is a 25.35 scale length on there, which actually, it feels, I've had a lot of older Les Pauls. It's very reminiscent of that. It's got a very electric feel to it. You know, got your branded PRS tuners, Goto looking style and stuff like that. It does have the PRS cut in the headstock, which is, you know, one of the top 3 headstocks out there, right? Alright, so you get your little sneaky input there. Oh, That's my son's. My sons love Five Nights at Freddy's, let me tell you. But that's your input, and your controls are right in here in the sound hole, like many a nice high-end guitar. I tell you what, at the price point this sits at, and I believe, you know, it sits somewhere between $600 and $750 depending on where you go, and there's some, I've just noticed after I bought it, some good sales out there that you can get it for around $600, and that's not what I paid. But it's easily of quality and sound of a guitar twice as much. And you hear that all the time, like, oh, this guitar sounds like a guitar that's worth twice as much. But you know, I've been a gigging musician for a really long time now, 20 years. And I've had a fair amount of acoustics, and my favorite out of all the acoustics, my main gigging guitar before this was my Breedlove. Great guitar, but had never really had a lot of experience with that company. Just wanted to check it out, and I was impressed. I had good electronics, the guitar felt good, nice neck. Before that, a Martin, a Jumbo, and that was great guitar that I would easily say this is on par with, or maybe even a little better. It was a lower level Martin. So though it played good, sounded great and everything, the feel was just a little inferior to this, in my opinion. Heck, my main gigging guitar for a lot of years is an old Ibanez acoustic, and it's old and it sounds amazing. I'll pull that out one day. It's all beat up, but I'll do a video on it. It'll be fun. This guitar, man. This is the first one in the SE A10 range that is all mahogany, and that's what drew me towards it. I was shopping for a new gigging guitar, and I'm like, you know, I want something that's a little warmer than what I've been playing, because my Breedlove's nice, but it's a little bright. And I was thinking about going for another Martin, and then I saw this, and I didn't actually know that this existed. I've been out of the loop, I guess. I knew that, you know, the Angelus existed, but I didn't know there was an SE version at all. And I don't know, I mean, this is from this year. This was made in Korea for PRS guitars. And this is from 2017, March 2017, so it's a brand spanking. I don't know, I think they probably been around for a couple of years now that I'm looking into them, but I was absolutely not aware. What I do like is I've played the Angelus, you know, the proper Lifeson Angelus, incredible sounding guitar, and this is very reminiscent of it. You know, I'm not going to say it sounds exactly the same, it doesn't. There's a depth in the sound of that guitar that this just can't, at this price point you couldn't get it. But what I do like is that it uses the X-Brace Classical, the hybrid. So you got your X-bracing here, alright, and then coming out here you have a fan bracing. So it's all coming, you know, from the below the X-brace and coming out in a fan pattern. And that's something that you see on classical guitars, and that's something that I think Paul consciously did. And it makes this top, you know, it's a nice solid mahogany top, but man, does it amplify out. It's got a hard back. There's no hardbacks. If you know anything about how acoustics are built, they're built in such a way, embraced in such a way that you have your amplifier section of the guitar, which is the sound that's coming in, rolling off in the bracing, and, you know, amplifying out the whole. And the way these are constructed gives you that mid-range that you get out of a nice tight classical like a Cordoba or something like that, a nice classical guitar. A nice Cordoba. I find being an acoustic guitar player for a living, I find that that I have a hard time finding guitars that have good enough cut to play those low notes and have the high notes ring. And it does. It's very even, and I know you're like, well, I'm picking even, but so sloppy. So sorry. All around, one of the better acoustic electrics I've played in quite some time. And it's out of the norm for me. I'm a big PRS fan, but usually when it comes to my acoustics, you know, I like concert bodies, and Yamaha had some really nice ones for a little while there, but then the electronics just went downhill. I'm stoked on the electronics. You get a simple volume and a tone, which for, you know, my gigging purposes, I actually just dime out, and we do sound off our board for our shows. But it's nice that it's that simple to me. Man, I dig it. It's got a volute, which is weird. I dig this guitar, man. You know, and I know I always dig all the guitars, but this is a new one for me. I'm not experienced anything quite like this. So to have it to noodle around on is great. And like I say, this is the guitar that, you know, is my work guitar, right? But everybody thinks the only time I play acoustic guitar is when I'm gigging. As I'm sure you've noticed from the channel, I'm an electric guy, you know. But in the industry where I am, the acoustic stuff just gets you a better living. But the plus for me is that it feels so much like an electric. Like it's. So that's it. That's the quickie. That's the nooner on the PRS SE Angelus. If you're a singer-songwriter, if you're a guy that's writing tunes, playing in an acoustic gig, singing, or recording acoustic tracks, this guitar, now, I can easily say that I think this is worth twice as much as what's being charged, you know, but it's made overseas, so that takes a big chunk out. But what I will say pretty strongly, I feel that this guitar is priced well below other guitars that are of the same quality. I am not stretching the truth when I say that I've played Martins that weren't as nice, and I've played Taylors that weren't as nice. And to me, you know, acoustic guitar side, those are the the top echelon. I love those two companies. Crafters, you know, it's got a bit of that feel to it. You know, easily, if somebody said, hey, I got this guitar and I paid a G for it, I'd be like, yeah, you did. You know, no problem, without question. It's very well made. The fit and finish is out of control. The inlays are as nice as I've seen on any PRS, and I've seen many a PRS. You know, and coming from somebody who on occasion builds a guitar or two, I gotta say, man, they did a heck of a job. Korea's killing it. They're like the new Japan, and Japan's the new US. Ooh, I'm gonna get a lot of hate in the comments for that, but if I'm being honest to my opinion, and that's what this channel is all about, USA guitars were the tip top. They were the upper echelon until swinging into the mid 70s, the late 70s, when the Japanese guitar companies started really busting it. And I tell you, they were always good guitars. I had a Hondo back in the day. I've had there was a Memphis. I've had so many overseas, you know, Les Paul style guitars and copies and stuff like that, and they were all great, you know. And then bust into the 80s, and you get all these, you know, everybody's just doing their thing, ESP, you know, they're hot rodding guitars, and then boom, there's guitars, and then everybody's getting these killer Ibanez's and stuff like that, right? And I don't know, the USA, somewhere along the line, I think we got lost in guitar making. We started, I'll give Fender credit where it's due. They've always managed to make a guitar for anybody at any price point, especially nowadays. But a lot of our companies over here just started charging a bunch of dough, you know, because it was made in the USA, and people will pay it. But I don't think that's how it is now. You get to a certain level where it doesn't matter what it costs, it's just going to be a quality guitar. But I think Korea is more and more, you know, world music is an easy check mark to point out how great they are. You know, and this is built by Wildwood, which I don't know if they're affiliated with World, but again, you know, these Korean guitar makers are doing a great job. Japan's always doing a great job, so it's not really news. But these guys are popping up. You know, there's some nice stuff out of Indonesia, you know, all things considered, but I'm having a hard time finding a Korean-made guitar the past few years that isn't damn good. So, this has been extremely long-winded. I'm going to go soak my head in some steam and get some Vicks Vapor Rub going on. Thank you guys for being patient. I noticed that our subscriber rate's jumping. We're coming up on the 250 mark not too long from now, I hope, and that's going to be awesome. You know, we'll see if maybe this video can put us over the top and figure something out to do. Maybe we'll raffle off a guitar. I think maybe that's a good idea. I think we'll do that. We have to figure out which one. There's a few that's definitely not going to be, but maybe we'll do that for our 250 subscriber bash. We'll raffle out a guitar. Feel free to throw in the comments what guitar you'd like me to raffle off. And if you don't know what guitars I have, then go back to the beginning, start at the first video, roll on through. Thanks for being patient, guys, and thanks for tuning in, sharing, and you know, coming at me with comments and stuff like that. I really dig it. You know, I like being a part of all this, so let's keep it rocking. And I promise I will try and get some more vids out. I was thinking maybe hitting up some buddies for their axes and just doing some randoms, right? We'll see. Again, it's been Gear and Guitars with Mel. I'm